Exercise 1004 talks about an outlier. Now, I'll be surprised if you haven't heard of the term outlier before, but for those of you who haven't, an outlier is a result that seems very, very different to the majority of the other results. So let's say, you for example, did a test and most people were getting results around 70%, 80%, and then there was a result of, just one result of, say 30%. Now that 30% would be classified as an outlier. So it doesn't have to necessarily be below. If you did another test, the results were generally around 50, 60%, and there was a one-off result that was 95%. So it would again be the outlier. And up until now, we've just made a call about whether we think a result is an outlier, just based on where the majority of the results lie and then the position of some extremely low or extremely high result. However, we now will only determine a result as an outlier if it satisfies a formula that's given that says that if the score is above the score you will find using your formula, then you can classify it as an outlier. So this diagram here is indicating that, in that we've got our results, put onto a dot plot. And as you know, a box and whisker. So you've got your box, and then the whisker goes off in this direction. So to form the box part of the box plot, you need to calculate it, Q1, the median, and Q3. Now, there are some other calculations. You'll also need your interquartile range, which we know to be Q3 minus Q1. So you'll have to have worked that out. Now, the rule says a result will only be an outlier if it lies above, so it's up here in this range, above the score which is calculated as Q3, which is your upper quartile, plus 1.5 times the interquartile range. So you work out this score, and so that's what I was saying before. You have to have already calculated your Q3, your upper quartile, also have calculated your interquartile range. You work out this score now. Then, if there are any results above that particular score, then they may be classified as outliers. Likewise, down here. Now, we have to work out this time Q1 minus 1.5 lots of the interquartile range. So we're taking it off, 1.5 lots of interquartile range. If the result doesn't, if a score, doesn't sit less than this result you've just calculated, then it's not an outlier. So it's no longer just a matter of us saying, oh yeah, well it looks like it does, it's a long way away. we can't go with that anymore. We have to actually do the calculations. I will stop the video there and do these examples and talk about them.